California Governor Gavin Newsom caught in yet another embarrassing scandal, showing that he's nothing more than a hypocrite and he's bilking taxpayers. We've got the story. And a Democrat state senator switches parties in California to become a Republican. We'll tell you who and why some conservatives are not happy about the switch. All that and more coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and by now you should know that Governor Gavin Newsom is an absolute blank hat. He is a hypocrite, and of course, he basically continues to break public trust with the people he is supposed to represent. The liberal media in California gives him a pass every single time he screws up. They cover up for his misdeeds, and they give him glowing and favorable coverage. Oh, Gavin, you're so dreamy. These liars and gaslighters are doing great damage to our state, in addition to what Newsom is doing. So all of us know that Newsom's policies are terrible. But what many people don't realize is just how corrupt and self-centered this guy is, egotistical. It's all about him and his political ambitions. You know that during COVID, he shut down all the restaurants across the state, businesses, schools. He imposed mask mandates. He fined people. He threatened people. He sued people. And what was he doing behind closed doors? He was dining at the French Laundry without a mask on, with a bunch of rich lobbyists, sipping on $1,000 per bottle wine. We also know that he had mask mandates and was out there taking photos all the time without a mask on because he didn't want to make it look like he was wearing a face diaper. He wanted to make sure that in his photos he looked really good. Of course, this guy also engaged in pay-to-play contracting during the pandemic. He accepted campaign contributions, and then for his biggest campaign contributors, gave them special exemptions from his lockdown mandates. I'm specifically talking about the entertainment industry that went to the governor and said, no, we got to produce some shows and movies, and you locked us down. Our production facilities are completely impossible to film. Can we get special exemptions? And he did that time and time again. We also have a pattern of Gavin Newsom enriching himself through something called behested payments. This is where he raises money for charities, and he can get unlimited money from people who have business before the governor's office. Unlike a legislator who's one of 120, you've got the governor who can unilaterally make or break a contract, a regulation for a special interest. And so he has immense latitude and power. And it's very suspicious that suddenly all these companies are opening up their checkbook and there's no limit on these behested payments because they go to a nonprofit. Well, one of the nonprofits that got the most money, we're talking millions of dollars, was his wife's own nonprofit, where she draws a big salary. And now it says that she is producing videos on various woke topics for the school districts across the state. I mean, that alone is problematic. But Gavin Newsom's wife runs this foundation, and they have picked up millions of dollars in behested payments. And his wife, therefore, derives her salary from the very solicitations that the governor is making. Absolute, obscene conflict of interest. So let me tell you about the latest scandal, because, yep, there's yet another scandal. You all know that the state politicians have been hemming and hawing about the fact that we have a massive state budget deficit. And they've put two propositions on the November ballot, Prop 2 and 4, to borrow a bunch of money, $20 billion, maxing out the credit card, to paper over their deficit. And they're going to leave you stuck with the bill. They're also looking to raise your taxes in so many ways, and they've imposed a bunch of business tax increases administratively through the legislature, as well as through government agencies through higher illegal fees. They don't want to cut spending. God forbid they actually tighten the belt and cut the wasteful spending. And the governor is the worst offender of them because he has a lot of power to tighten the belt on agency budgets. Well, it has now been revealed that Newsom is actually grotesquely fleecing taxpayers, wasting their money, all to promote himself. Here's the story. Gavin Newsom's office pays famed photographer $200,000 a year. So he has a glam photographer to get glam shots following him around. Oh, look at that one. Boy, he looks like an asshat. I just want to smack him. Hey, man, like, I'm so cool. Like, I mean, brotastic. Here I am at the Great Wall of China, you know, the Chinese Communist Party. They like put a bunch of money in my pockets, and then I give a bunch of no-bid contracts for $1 billion for masks that never arrived. Yeah, man, I'm at the Great Wall. I'm so cool. Look at me. Yeah, I'm contemplating life. Just smack him. He's just a tool. Again, on a personal level, this guy has not earned anything. He's always been given everything in his life. He's been given a pass. No one has called him out for his failures, and he has a crap ton of failures. Everything has been a silver platter existence for this guy. He's never earned anything. And he's out there like, yeah, but look at me, man. Yeah. He's a poser. He's a pretender. And now he's got a glam photographer following him around to take glam shots and put it out there for his own self-promotion, his own political benefit. And you're paying for $200,000 for a photographer? No. And again, if we are in a budget crisis, which we are, that should be one of the first things cut. Yeah, we're not going to have a $200,000 a year salary for the governor's private photographer, paparazzi, at taxpayer expense. Look, at Reform California, we're fighting to expose Newsom's corruption. No one in the liberal media will do it. And so I urge you to go on our website, reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution. We even have a campaign that is all designed to expose Gavin Newsom. Here it is. Join the fight, expose Gavin Newsom. This guy has presidential ambitions. He only missed out on the nomination because, well, his skin color wasn't the right tone. He was willing to go gay, though, I'm telling you right now, if it meant that he could get the nomination. But yeah, we need to expose Gavin Newsom. We need to show the failures on policy, but also his corrupt personal practice. The guy does not have the character to hold any office. So chip in a contribution at reformcalifornia.org so we can continue to do that work. I'm going to give you this story that some conservatives are upset about, and I'll tell you why. Headline: California state senator flips from Democrat to Republican. That's a good thing, right? When a Democrat crosses over, who's particularly in office, adds a vote to our side, that's a good thing. The state senator we're talking about is State Senator Marie Alvarado Gil. She represents a district in Central Valley. Now, that district is a Republican district. How did a Democrat win a Republican seat? Well, because of California's screwed up top two primary system, 2 Democrats made it through to the runoff, and they shut out all the Republicans because too many Republicans ran. Of course, we're the stupid party. Republicans split the vote. Republican didn't make it into the runoff in a safe Republican seat. And so the Democrats, who would usually get like 35% of the vote in this district, ended up picking up the seat for this 4-year term. So Senator Marie Alvarado Gil, as a Democrat, her days were numbered. She was voting squishy, moderate Democrat. I wouldn't call her a moderate Democrat. Her voting record was not that moderate compared to all the other wingnuts in her party in California, I guess. But I don't consider anything that she supported to be terribly moderate. Anyway, so she saw the writing on the wall. In case she wants to keep her paycheck, she flipped over. Now, let me just say this. That's my take on what's happening, and that's exactly what happened. But I have to chastise conservatives who've gone out and attacked her, saying, we don't want you. I'm sorry, but no matter how someone decided to become a Republican and leave the insanity of the Democrat Party, I say welcome them with open arms. Say, you know what? We're Big Tent. Welcome. Now, that doesn't mean that she should be afforded a free pass for her Senate seat in 2026 when she runs again. And that's my concern about the feckless state Senate Democrat leadership, Republican leadership, although you would see them as indistinguishable. Brian Jones, the state senator, complete waste of a seat, complete sellout, incompetent. My sources tell me that Brian Jones has committed to this Democrat turned Republican that they will clear the field in the primary in 2026 and bless her and anoint her for that seat. No, while I welcome Marie Alvarado-Gil to the Republican Party, and we should always welcome anyone who would like to come over for whatever reason, we welcome him in. That doesn't mean we give him a blank check. Senator Marie Alvarado-Gil, you have a primary to run, which means that you're going to have to earn the support of conservatives and Republicans in your district. They will decide whether you are going to be the standard bearer in that district. And I most sincerely hope that you take stock of your positions and read your district and become more conservative, and also kind of read what's going on in California and the damage done by the Democrat Party. I'm a little concerned about the switch because in this interview with KCRA, Ashley Zavala, who's one of my favorite reporters, she's doing such a great job up there. California state senator who flipped parties won't say who she'll support for president. Really? Do you need more information, Senator Alvarado-Gil? I don't understand why you'd be undecided. You're a Republican now. Support the nominee, period, full stop, end of story. But she doesn't seem to want to take a position there. Again, I don't think that Senator Brian Jones is doing the voters any favor, or his fellow Republicans in the Republican conference, by giving a commitment to someone that they will back them no matter what in a primary. That's how the good old boys insider network swamp works up there. But I think she should earn it. And I think she can earn it. I've not spoken to her. I will support her when she votes well on good issues. When she doesn't, I will push and prod. But as it relates to Reform California's endorsement in that upcoming primary, we are neutral at this point. We're not automatic for any incumbent Republican. They have to show us that they've earned the status of a reformer, of a fighter, before we will urge people to vote for that person. Again, I am cautiously optimistic. I'm excited that she's joined the Republican Party. I want to work with her. I want to encourage her to listen to the constituents of that district and vote for change, to be a real fighter, to push back against the far left policies in California. But to my conservatives, please take a beat. Don't smack someone because they registered as a Republican. That's something to welcome. Challenge them as I'm challenging this state senator to earn our support going into 2026. Look, we can't do this fight alone at Reform California. I urge you to join us. Go to our website, reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution to support our work. Also, our voter guide's coming out in the next couple weeks, right in time for you to vote before your ballots arrive. Remember, the politicians have deceptive titles on the ballot, and we need to expose those deceptive titles and give you the plain English Reform California voter guide. So sign up for that voter guide. We will send it to you electronically for free. Please spread the word after you receive it. At the bottom of the website, reformcalifornia.org, there's a sign up. First name, last name, email, phone, zip code, sign up, and we will send you the voter guide. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.